I've been debating whether to share this because I still don't know if I'm ready to face the fallout. But maybe getting it all out will help me. Let me start by saying that I, a 34-year-old woman, have always been a trusting person. My partner, Ryan, and I have been together for 7 years, married for 3. I thought we were solid, happy even. Sure, we had the usual disagreements about chores and schedules, but nothing serious. I thought we were one of those couples people looked at and thought, wow, they really have it together. Then came the rumors. It started innocently enough. Comments from friends about how Ryan seemed distracted or off lately. I brushed it off. Ryan had a stressful job in finance, and I assumed it was just work. But then, one of our mutual friends, Sarah, said something that hit differently. She casually mentioned that she'd seen Ryan having lunch with a woman who wasn't me. She joked about it, saying, "Oh, maybe it was a work thing." But her tone wasn't playful. It felt off. I didn't confront Ryan immediately. Instead, I spent the next few weeks spiraling in my head. Every late meeting, every night he came home exhausted, every time he left his phone face down on the table, I started questioning everything. But here's the kicker. I didn't want to believe he was cheating. In fact, I wanted so badly to prove he wasn't. That's where the private investigator came in. The decision to hire a PI. I felt ridiculous even considering it, but the thought of asking Ryan directly made my stomach churn. I worried that if I brought it up and he wasn't cheating, it would damage our relationship. So, I decided to find proof. Proof that he wasn't doing anything wrong. I found a local PI, Mark, through a quick Google search. His website looked professional, and his reviews were stellar. When we met, I felt embarrassed explaining why I wanted his services. "I just want to know if there's something I'm missing," I told him. Mark nodded sympathetically and said he'd handled cases like this before. He assured me that if there was nothing to find, he'd let me know. The waiting game. The next 2 weeks were some of the most agonizing of my life. I gave Mark Ryan's work schedule, the make and model of his car, and any details I thought might be useful. I told him about the woman Sarah had mentioned, though I didn't have a name or description. I just said, "She's not me, that's all I know." Every time my phone buzzed, my heart leapt into my throat. I tried to act normal around Ryan, but he started noticing my anxiety. "Are you okay?" he asked one night as we watched TV. I forced a smile and said, "Just stressed about work." He kissed my forehead and told me to take it easy. My heart broke a little more. The results. Mark called me on a Wednesday afternoon. His tone was professional, but I could tell he wasn't delivering good news. "I think we should meet in person to discuss what I found," he said. My stomach dropped. I agreed to meet him the next day at a coffee shop near his office. When I arrived, Mark was already there with a folder on the table. I felt like I was in a movie, sitting down across from him, bracing for impact. He started by saying, "I'm sorry to have to share this with you." The folder contained photos and detailed notes. There was Ryan, smiling and holding hands with a woman at a restaurant. There he was again, kissing her outside a movie theater. And again, walking into a hotel with her. The timestamps told the whole story. Some of these encounters had happened when he was supposedly working late. I couldn't breathe. My hands shook as I flipped through the pages. Mark explained that the woman was a coworker, someone Ryan had been seeing for at least a few months based on the evidence. He had even overheard conversations between them, where they made plans to travel together for a work conference. Confrontation. When I got home that night, Ryan was in the kitchen, cooking dinner. He greeted me with a smile and asked how my day was. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I blurted out, "Are you seeing someone else?" His face fell. He didn't even try to deny it. "I'm so sorry," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't want you to find out like this." I threw the folder on the counter. "You didn't want me to find out at all, Ryan. What the hell is this?" He tried to explain, saying it just happened, and that he never meant to hurt me. He claimed he still loved me, that the affair didn't mean anything, but the words felt hollow. Aftermath. That was 3 months ago. I filed for divorce shortly after our confrontation. Ryan begged me to go to couples therapy, but I couldn't stomach the thought of sitting in a room with him, pretending this was something we could fix. The hardest part has been grappling with the fact that I wanted so badly to prove his innocence. I wasn't prepared for the truth. I thought I was being proactive, that I was saving our relationship by hiring a PI. Instead, I unraveled a lie that had been staring me in the face the whole time. I've been seeing a therapist to process everything, and it's helping. Slowly, I'm starting to rebuild my life. But trust? That's going to take a lot longer. The idea of ever trusting someone again feels impossible right now. Why I'm sharing this? If you're reading this and suspect something is off in your relationship, trust your gut. Don't ignore the red flags because you want so badly for things to be okay. And don't be afraid to face the truth, no matter how much it hurts. I wish I had trusted myself sooner. Maybe then, I wouldn't have wasted so much time convincing myself that everything was fine when it clearly wasn't.